my name is Jana. I am the sales and marketing strategist at Netcents. So, over the next 15 minutes, I'm going to be talking about what Netcents does in the cryptocurrency market. And we're going to be focusing a lot on how Netcents works with businesses to actually power payments. So, a little bit different than the last conversation, but I do think this is a huge factor to consider when we think about cryptocurrency adoption and how much people use cryptocurrency for payments right now. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and get started. So what exactly does NetCents do, and how is this fitting into the future of cryptocurrency payments? Well, it's actually pretty simple. NetCents empowers businesses to accept cryptocurrency and get paid in their local currency if they want to. So there's actually no risk of volatility for merchants. So a little bit more on how this works. A customer would basically go to a business and they would kind of go through the checkout process like normal, except when they get to the checkout screen, rather than them just clicking to pay with credit card, there would just be an option to pay with cryptocurrency. And they would just go ahead and choose the currency they want to pay with. And our system kind of covers all of that on the back end and then shows the value in the currency they want to pay with. So this is important to note because one of the major reasons why some businesses are still a little bit scared to get into crypto is because they think they need to have all of this knowledge, all of this background in crypto that they actually really don't need to have. NetCents really has them covered, and hey, if they want to take crypto and keep the cryptocurrency payments, we can help them with that as well. So some important facts to kind of mention, 40% of people recently surveyed, so they actually plan to use cryptocurrency for payments within the next year. And that's a stat that MasterCard came out with earlier this year. So why is that so important? Well, I think at the moment, a lot of people think cryptocurrency is just something that you hold on to. It's just something that you would kind of invest in for your future and you leave it and you never use it. Well, if cryptocurrency is going to become a bigger part of our society, this is really going to have to be something that changes. People are going to start, using it as they would regular money. Of course, some of it's going to get saved, but a lot of it's going to get used. And that's just kind of the natural trend that we're seeing. So here at NetCents, we think the number one way for business owners to future-proof their strategy is to actually start taking cryptocurrency payments. Because why not? If you take credit cards, why not take crypto? So what's going on in the industry right now? Well, we're witnessing a once in a generation shift. So this is super important because this is something that we're probably not going to see again. This is something we have never seen in our lives, kind of a shift to a completely new kind of payment method. We're used to money, we're used to credit cards and debit cards, and now we're going to be getting used to cryptocurrency being accepted by most major businesses. So how does NetCents fit into all of this? Well, we were actually one of the very first companies to recognize the cryptocurrency opportunity. And we started focusing solely on cryptocurrency payments in 2017. So we've been in the space for a number of years, and we kind of knew that opportunity in advance. Now, something else I'll mention is that out of all the businesses that actually accept cryptocurrency payments currently, only 2% of them were actually accepting them in 2017. So we were definitely very forward thinking as a company, and we knew this was an industry that was going to be expanding. Now, if you think that's an acceleration, I can also mention that around 2/3 of businesses that currently accept crypto, they only started accepting it in the last 2 years. So we've seen a huge amount of growth in this industry recently. And that really just proves to us that it's going to be something that continues to take off. So, as a key player in this industry, we're more than ready for that shift to decentralized technology-driven systems. We're not afraid of it, and we're basically here to lead the charge on that front. So, very exciting times ahead. So yeah, in this slide, I'm just going to be giving a bit more context to that shift that I mentioned and what's going on. So back in 2017, the cryptocurrency market cap was only at around 500 billion. And as many of us know, it became 2 trillion this year. So that just goes to show way more people are using cryptocurrency right now. Similar to how way more businesses started to accept cryptocurrency in the last 2 years, the number of people using it doubled in just the first half of this year. So that's a huge amount of growth in a short amount of time. And right now we're in that period where it was growing slowly, and it's, really about to take off. Now, it's important for businesses to make sure they consider this when they're, planning on what payment methods they're going to take, because 60% of consumers would actually want to be able to make purchases with cryptocurrency. Now, the reasons why they might be getting held back, maybe they don't have the knowledge yet, but maybe they're going out and they're just not seeing enough businesses accepting crypto yet. So it's definitely something that's really important to consider. So I will mention, we've seen in the news a lot of big companies are starting to accept cryptocurrency payments. They're actually making headlines for this. Every week we're seeing a new big company from a different industry is, accepting crypto payments. I think last week we, in our crypto news article, we mentioned that one of the biggest mortgage companies in the United States now said they're going to start accepting crypto payments. But the thing is, we don't want those big companies to have all the fun. We need small businesses to catch up and really join the market and be able to capture that opportunity. Like I mentioned, you don't need to have crypto knowledge in advance, and you don't need to know all these technical things. When you work with a company like Netcents, all of that really is covered by us. So it's way less stress for the merchant. So, how does NetCents exactly fit into here? Well, I mentioned that we work with businesses, but I'll kind of run you through the process of how the payment actually works. So, customers that want to do a payment with NetCents, so they see that pay with crypto option, the nice part is that they can use any e wallet. So, on our end, we're not limiting the customer to use our exchange. They could be using any e wallet they want. It's a very open system. So, it's pretty simple. Once the payment goes through, the merchant actually receives the payment through the NetCents merchant app. So that could be online. We work with some POSs in store. We also have our own POS app. So there's a lot of different options there. We got invoices, we got e-commerce plugins. There's a lot of choices that the merchant can choose from, which is another way that we're really opening that door and helping merchants to realize it's not this complicated solution anymore. And if the merchant doesn't want to keep the cryptocurrency, like I mentioned before, we can guarantee that amount in their local currency at the time of the transaction. So, for example, if a customer is paying in Bitcoin, we can guarantee that amount in US dollars for a merchant located in the United States. We do that at the time of the transaction, so there's no risk to the merchant at all. The customer gets to pay the way they want. Everyone's pretty much happy in this scenario. So now, how easy is this for the customer? This is a question we get asked a lot by the businesses that we work with. They usually want to see how this works. So I've actually gone ahead and we put some of our payment screens up on here for you guys to see what our process really actually looks like. So Infinity is one of the merchants that we work with here in Canada. They sell some wine. So this is their website. As you can see, they're on the second screen here. There is a button to pay with cryptocurrency right under the button to pay with credit card. So very, very straightforward. The person just needs to click that button. And as soon as they do click that pay with cryptocurrency button, they're actually brought to another screen where they can make a payment. And like I mentioned, they just choose the cryptocurrency that they want to pay with. So at this point, they're still seeing the currency that's in the local currency of the merchant. But as soon as they click on how they want to pay, that's when that conversion is going to take place for the customer. So I'll just move on and show you that. Now, here they can again see who they're making a payment to, but on this screen, they can also see the amount that they're going to be paying in the currency that they wanted to pay in. So in this example, it is Bitcoin. So they can see the conversion that's the amount of Bitcoin that they're going to need to send from their e-wallet. Now, we've gone ahead and we generated a unique wallet address that they would use to send this transaction to. So another question we get a lot from merchants is, do I need to have an e-wallet? Do I need to sign up for one? No. These addresses is actually something that we generate, and they're unique for the transaction. So it's nothing that the merchant needs to worry about. We also have a QR code there. So an easy way for the customer to do it would actually just be to scan the QR code with their phone. Most e-wallet apps should pick that up and bring in all the payment information. But just in case that's not working, just for their particular app, that is why we have the address there. So it's super simple. On the next screen, we're kind of showing just what this would look like from the NetCents e-wallet application. So they're able to preview the withdrawal and then confirm the payment. So it's actually not too many steps. If you're someone that currently uses cryptocurrency, this process is probably going to look very straightforward for you. So if someone uses it, they're not going to have any issues kind of getting started and going through with the payment. Now, what does the NetCents ecosystem look like beyond the merchant platform? Well, that's the great thing about NetCents. We've actually really thought this through and made sure that there's something for everyone that we offer. So if you're not a business, that's not a problem. We also have a user e-wallet. So on that side, you can withdraw funds, load funds, buy and sell cryptocurrency. So that's an option that anyone can do, and it is directly compatible with our merchant gateway. So if a person using NetCents wants to put through a payment, they can actually, rather than clicking on Bitcoin, they can just click that they want to pay with their NetCents wallet. So very, very easy. As well, there's the merchant gateway that I've already spoke about. On there, there's just, those functions of accepting payments. Instant settlements is what we call that price guarantee. And there's, like I mentioned, the payouts are very easy. So if a merchant wants to collect the amount in their local currency, they just need to make sure instant settlement's turned on. It's very, very straightforward. Now, I'll also mention that we do have a partner program. So this is something that we get asked about a lot, and it's a really easy way for anyone to make some passive income in this industry. So it's super simple to get started. For that, you would just go to our website. There is an option at the top to go to our partner page. And when you sign up to be a partner with NetCents, this means that you are referring merchants to us. So when you go to sign up, you will actually just get a unique address URL given to you. Now, this is just going to go to our regular sign up page, but it's a unique URL just to yourself. So when any merchant uses that URL to sign up, they're going to get associated with your partner account, and you would actually get commission for every transaction that they do. So it's super simple. Again, you don't even need to know that much about crypto. You just need to have some connections, know some contacts or businesses that want to accept cryptocurrency payments. And suddenly you're in the game and you have another way to make pretty easy money by just sending out your link to people that you might know. So very straightforward there. And yeah, this is a NetCents ecosystem. So a lot of different parts, everything kind of fits together. And that's, I think, another thing that's unique about NetCents is that we're not just focused on any one thing. We don't just have an exchange. We don't just have a merchant gateway or a partner program. We have these three elements that really fit together perfectly. DeFi. So now I'm going to be just venturing a little bit away from our merchant platform to talk about some of the other things that we're doing in this space. So DeFi, or decentralized finance, it allows users to become lenders or borrowers in a decentralized environment. So here at NetCents, we really think that DeFi is making this huge shift in our financial system in a way that's going to empower the average person. So the DeFi market, it's already been going way up, just like the crypto market has. And I think this is really because people are realizing that they could just have options now that they didn't have before. So I'm sure everyone's aware of the frustrating experience of going down to your bank, signing up for an account, and realizing how low the interest rates are. Now, with DeFi, the power kind of goes back into your hands. You have the possibility to make way more money, and you're cutting out a lot of unnecessary middlemen. Now, how is NetCents kind of fitting into this? Well, we're partnering with Vesto to allow users to choose from multiple DeFi protocols right within the NetCents wallet. So basically our user application. So that's how that fits into there. Now we're going to be screening DeFi players and making sure our investors have access to their funds in a very easy way to get started. So I think one of the things about DeFi right now is that it's not currently as, people don't really think about it quite as much as they do cryptocurrency. So there's a lot of people that have gotten into cryptocurrency that they hear about DeFi and they think it's this, again, scary, complicated thing that it is just not. It's not that. So how is NetCents going to be fitting into this? Well, we're really going to be simplifying the process and making it quite straightforward. And that's really the way we've done everything. Our merchant gateway, our user application, our partner program. All of these different features of NetCents are meant to be very straightforward and something that someone could just go onto our website, which is just netcents.com with a dash in the middle, net-sense. And you could just quickly, get started on any of these 3 programs, and you don't need to have all this background knowledge. So yeah, that's one of the really good parts about NetCents, and we're getting into DeFi so that we can really make sure that our investors are protected from a lot of loss that sometimes does occur in the DeFi space, and we're really simplifying that. So that's how DeFi works with NetCents. So that's actually coming to the end of my presentation. And yeah, I'll just again kind of summarize the things that I talked about here. So once again, NetCents is a company that primarily is focused on accepting cryptocurrency payments. So helping businesses all around the world take cryptocurrency payments, whether that's online through our e-commerce plugins or our hosted payments, whether it's in store on our POS app or through invoices. NetCents is there for businesses, and it helps to make sure that everybody kind of feels included and is able to get started in a straightforward way. So that's the end of my presentation. I think we might have some time for questions. So I'll pass it back over to you.
Hi there. Hi. So great. Thanks so much for taking the time to tell us more about NetCents, Jenna. We had a few questions we wanted to ask you.
Sure.
Obviously, big year for Bitcoin, big year for many coins, for Doge. But obviously, in terms of use cases, gigantic year for DeFi. So is now the time for DeFi, and how does that fit into NetCents' plans overall?
Yeah. So like I mentioned, this was kind of the last years when we got into DeFi as well, because we did notice that opportunity. Obviously, DeFi isn't as huge as cryptocurrency overall, but as a company, we think it could actually surpass the crypto market. And the reason why we're kind of getting into that now is just because, like I said, we've kind of noticed a little bit of a gap in the market. There's a lot of people that are, invested in crypto, they're used to crypto, but they're not really ready to take that plunge into DeFi. I think because they just view it as this complicated thing. But at the same time, they want options that just aren't available to them. What's going on at the different banks is it's limiting. So at NetCents, we want to be able to give the people that are already using our exchange just another option to get started with something they might not have thought of before. And again, we're really a platform that makes it easy for beginners. So you wouldn't have to do a bunch of background research. You could just head over to our platform. Now, DeFi is not yet live on the NetCents exchange, so I will just mention that, but it's definitely something we have in the works, and hopefully we'll be rolling with it soon.
Right. Definitely DeFi has fired a lot of imaginations. Do you think it's all about the passive income?
I mean, no, I think it's just about kind of as a society, we're heading to a decentralized space in general. Right. So I think in the future, there's going to be a time when a lot of the stuff that you're doing, outside of your home right now, you're going to be able just to do it from your phone. So yeah, that does include, people getting loans, people getting interest, but I think it's going to extend to a lot of other areas as well. I think there'll be a time when you can get a mortgage just on your phone through DeFi. I think for businesses, it's going to be a major asset in terms of getting those larger loans. I think as well for companies, maybe the way we invest in companies is completely going to change. Why go through the stock market and go through this complicated process when you can just directly invest in a company through DeFi? I think the future holds a lot of possibilities there.
Absolutely. Yeah, totally understandable. It helps, of course, that we've all been trapped at home for the past year or so.
Yes.
So it's fair to say that NetCents has been pretty North America focused up till now, but it sounds like that's going to change. You're going to be more globally focused. Do you want to tell us about that a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, our roots are in North America. That's where our company started. But I think for us, that just didn't make a whole lot of sense. Cryptocurrency is something that is super global. That's the beauty of it. Borders don't matter. Anyone on earth can go and get Bitcoin or Ethereum and whatnot, and just as long as they have an internet connection. So it's really helping with, people that are currently unbanked. And for us, we realized that opportunity, and now we're really expanding to other areas. So We're already in Europe as well. We're also focusing right now on the Middle East and Africa because we notice there's a lot of opportunity in those regions of businesses that really haven't even thought about cryptocurrency yet, but are super receptive to those kinds of new technologies.
So one more question. We have 1 minute left. What advice do you have for the business investor and for the retail investor?
Yeah, so I think it's kind of the same for both. When I kind of look at different surveys and see what people are afraid of when it comes to cryptocurrency, it's almost always this sentiment about thinking, I don't have the education, I don't have the tools to get started. It's kind of this fear of the unknown. And I think I would just tell people, retail investors and businesses, just to take it slow and kind of realize that in many ways, cryptocurrency is actually way less complicated than the traditional finance system.
Right.
So when it comes to people kind of getting started with Bitcoin, I mean, of course, it's always good to have common sense. Don't put your whole life savings into something and then want to take it out as soon as it's going down. That's really what I kind of tell my own friends and family even is go in slow, do some research, and you'll probably be fine. And with businesses, well, the nice part, like I said, is that NetCents kind of covers all of that complicated stuff. So they really don't need to worry about it at all. It's just a matter of kind of basically finding us on the internet, having a conversation with us, and then realizing that it's very simple. You can have cryptocurrency payments on your website in a day if you wanted to, and you don't need to know anything about crypto to do that.